Okay, so in this video, we're going to put together our Halloween banner, and I'm going to begin by just showing you the assembly, or the layering, I should say, for the pieces here. I'm going to start with our cat. Okay, so you've got this main piece. You're going to glue this on and center it so there's a nice even border all the way around. We have a little piece for his cute little tongue. Okay, and we have, there's two holes on either side here, and we put those there so that it's easier for you to better align his eyes, okay? When I first did it the first time, I kind of didn't make his face very symmetrical, so I wanted to add that. Got a little chin piece for him there, and then there's two little eyebrows. If you don't want him to look mean or sinister, you can leave him off, but I prefer the sinister cat, so you've got two of those for either side, for both sides I should say. So there's your kitty. And then we have the owl. Let me just show you how that goes together. Okay, so you've got this black piece that goes on this yellow piece. You're going to glue that down. We've got this piece here. You want to make sure that's centered. And you've got the two eyeballs. And they go like that. You want to make sure that these pieces here are kind of pointed in the same direction. And then you've got his little beak here. Okay, so there's your owl. Very simple. You're going to repeat that process twice because there's two owls and two cats. And then we can take a look at the witch. Okay, the witch, the main part of her hat is made up of these pieces. This piece gets glued to this piece. And then this piece gets glued onto the center of this piece. Make sure there's a nice border going all the way around it. Okay, now the main part of the brim goes like this. You've got these three pieces. Make sure the orange piece is nice and centered so that there is a border. And then this black piece, same applies to that. Okay, and once you have that all glued down, you're going to take and just glue this on top like so. Okay, and actually there is one additional piece to the witch's hat. It's this piece here, and then there is also a little moon piece that goes there. Okay, so that's how that is going to get glued together. Okay, and I'm not going to do that, but I am going to flip this over because once we get her feet all assembled, there is a little guide on the back of this piece that kind of shows you where to glue this piece so that you get the proportions right and so she doesn't look too short or too tall. But as far as the witch goes, and actually, you know what, I did forget one more piece on the witch's hat, and that's the little buckle. Okay, so the buckle is going to go right on there as well. Okay, so sorry I missed that. That's how that works. Okay, so let's go back to the feet. You've got the main piece here. Okay, we've got this cool DCWV paper that gets glued on like so. Okay, and we've got the shoes. Those are her socks. These are her shoes. Those get glued on like so. And we've got little trim pieces for the shoes that go on like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then you're going to put glue on this part here. And again, the top of the hat's going to be assembled already. And when you glue it, make sure you don't go past, let me see if I can get a good angle here. There it is. Don't go above the hat. You want to keep the feet glued below this area so that it looks something like that. Okay, so that is your witch. Now, what we're going to do is show you the rest of the assembly here. Okay, now this piece here is for the witch. Okay, so all we're going to do is take glue and place glue on these little tabs here. And we're just going to glue that down, making sure that both sides are matched up. Okay, I'm just going to hold that down. Okay. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take your final witch and glue her to this. and your string for the banner is going to run through here. Okay, so your witch will be glued onto this. Let's see if I can grab this whole thing without it coming apart too much. Okay, so that's going to get glued on right there. Okay, just pretend that the feet are there, and that's how you just make sure that you get it on the back of the brim so that this thing is pretty much out of sight. Okay, and again, you just run your string through there, and that's how this thing hangs. Tested it and works really well. So the other pieces, the cat and the owl, they have rosettes. So we're going to go ahead and put those together. Now, what you want to do is start with one of the rosettes and just begin folding. Okay, just begin folding it like so. And this last piece here that's got a little bit of a longer tab, leave that hang. Grab your other piece, because what's going to happen is these pieces are going to connect like this. And depending on how you started folding this one, okay, this one here is going to get glued to that piece there. So you want to make sure that you kind of fold it correctly so that this piece can glue on either on the top or on the bottom. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this piece here, because we want to make this one continuous rosette. Okay, I'm going to flatten that out, and I'm just going to glue that up to the score mark, making sure it's nice and aligned. Okay, so that we have one little valley there. Okay, so then I'm going to take this and just scrunch it up. Lay this piece out flat. Okay, and I'm going to take, and it doesn't matter which side you do it on, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put glue on this piece here. Pretty much want to keep the glue within the border here. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down, just making sure that these two strips, when you glue them down, that they're kind of flush at the top here. You want to make sure that's nice and flush, and you can kind of squeeze that in until you've got a nice rosette. Okay, and hold that in place while it dries, because the tension of the paper wants to kind of pull it away. Okay, so just hold that in place. All right, and so there's the beginnings of your rosette. And what we want to do is we're going to flip this over. Okay, and I'm going to take this piece here. Okay, and we want to glue this like so. Okay, so you can use hot glue if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and use regular glue here. I'm going to put glue on this strip here. And then it does kind of help if you have hot glue to put hot glue on this stuff here, just to kind of get it to hold better. It's not totally necessary, but it is helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and begin by just getting this strip into place. You can do that with regular glue. Okay, and then you can always grab the hot glue at this point and get that glued into place. Okay, so this is roughly what it should look like at this point. Okay, and then what we're going to do, okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, and this piece is going to look like this once it's all glued together. Okay, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put glue on this element here. Okay, and I'm just going to pop this in like that, and we're going to glue this down. See this little notch here? I want to make sure that that's centered on the rosette. Okay, so let me move that, bring that out of the way, and I just want that nice and flush and centered on our rosette. Okay, if it's a tiny bit off. Okay. So that is in place. Okay. And then what we can do is we can put glue on this tab here. Just make sure that it's nice and straight here, and you're going to glue that down like that. Same with this piece. And get that glued down. There we go. Okay. And then we do have a little strip here, and that strip is just to kind of hide this and make it more seamless. So you're going to get that strip glued down like so. And then finally, you can go ahead, and I would probably use hot glue here. This is a pretty concentrated area here, so regular glue will probably work in this area here. But if you really want to reinforce this, I would put a nice line of hot glue on there. And just make sure that this is nice and flush at the top, and just glue that down. Okay. And there's your rosette. And you've got this little area here, this back area is where your string is going to go, okay, to hold it up. And then all you have to do is just glue your pumpkin or your, not your pumpkin, but your owl or your cat right to this surface here. Okay, so that's how you create each of the little rosettes with the characters. You're going to create 4 of these total, or you can make more if you want to make it longer. You're more than welcome to alternate the pattern a few more times. And then just grab as much string as you need, or ribbon, or whatever it is you decide you want to use, depending on how long you want to make this, and just feed it through the side here. Okay, you can see, can you see that? Yeah, you can see. Just feed it right through this one here. You'll see it come back here. You just feed it through this piece here, and then it should hang really nicely. And then we actually, if you look at the product photo on our site, we tied ribbon in between each of the characters and really jazzed it up. So it's a real simple piece. Have fun with it, and I will see you next time.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.